So today we're going to totally reframe how we think about early math. We're going to ditch the stress and replace it with fun, because it turns out the best way to build a mathematical mind is actually through play. Let's dive right in.
Okay, so when I say the words teaching math to a little kid, what's the very first image that pops into your head? Just take a second and really picture it. Yeah, does it look something like this? Maybe some worksheets, maybe some flashcards, a whole lot of pressure to just get the right answer. For so many of us, that's kind of our default setting, right? It's based on how we learned. But what if we've been looking at it all wrong? What if, instead of all that formal stuff, math was about the discoveries you make on a walk in the park? What if it was about the curiosity that sparks when you're building a tower of blocks, or just the fun of sorting your favorite toys? Well, that is exactly the shift we're going to explore. All right, first things first, we've got to get one really big idea straight. Young children are basically natural-born mathematicians. They don't need to be formally taught math so much as they need to be shown the math that's already all around them. You know, research actually shows that kids are naturally curious about mathematical ideas long before they ever set foot in a classroom. They're noticing shapes, they're making patterns with their toys, they want to count stuff. Our job isn't to force it on them, it's just to tap into that interest that's already there. Okay, so if early math isn't just about, memorizing 1, 2, 3, then what is it? Well, experts break it down into 5 key areas. And you can think of these as the fundamental building blocks. Once you see them, I promise you'll start spotting math opportunities absolutely everywhere. Okay, first up is the one we all recognize, numbers and operations. This is way more than just reciting numbers in order. It's about really understanding quantity. Counting blocks, figuring out who has more crackers, or seeing what happens when you take away a toy from a pile. It's the absolute foundation. Next, we've got geometry. And hey, don't worry, this isn't high school proofs or anything like that. For kids, this is all about shapes and space. It's noticing that a stop sign has a cool shape or that 2 square blocks can make a rectangle. It's understanding words like under, beside, and on top of. Our third big idea, it's patterns. And let me tell you, kids are little pattern detecting machines. They see it in their striped shirts, they hear it in songs, and they love, love, love creating it, like arranging beads in a red, blue sequence. And believe it or not, this skill is the very beginning of algebraic thinking. It's all about recognizing rules and predicting what comes next. Then we have measurement. And really, this is just all about comparing things. Who's taller? Which of these rocks is heavier? How many of my feet does it take to get across the rug? It all starts with these really informal, fun questions, and eventually that leads to using tools like rulers. And last but not least, data analysis. I know that sounds super fancy, but it's really just a simple idea: sorting and grouping. When a child puts all the red cars in one pile and all the blue cars in another, guess what? They're analyzing data. Or making a little chart of who likes cats versus rabbits. That's data analysis in action. Okay, so now that we've got those 5 big ideas in our back pocket, let's look at where they actually pop up in the real world. This is where it gets really fun, because you don't need any special equipment at all, just a new way of seeing things. Just think about something as simple as setting the table. When a child puts 1 fork on each plate, they're practicing a super important skill called one-to-one correspondence. It's a simple chore, but it's packed with mathematical learning. Or how about laundry day? Sorting socks is a fantastic math lesson. Kids are matching pairs, they're sorting by color or by size or by pattern. That's classification and pattern recognition, 2 of our big ideas hiding right there in a household task. Oh, and this one's a classic. Building a tower is pure math in action. When kids build with blocks, they're exploring geometry by figuring out which shapes fit together. They're using measurement skills to make their tower taller than the last one. They're even learning about balance and spatial awareness. And you know what the best part is? You already have an entire math toolkit just lying around your house. Seriously, you don't need to buy a thing. Bottle tops and leaves are perfect for counting. Snacks are great for matching. And cutting an apple into quarters is a child's first and most delicious introduction to fractions. So we've established that math is basically everywhere, and kids are these little natural explorers. So where do we, the grown-ups, fit in? Well, it's simpler and way less stressful than you might think. You're not a teacher giving a lecture, you're more like a guide on a really cool adventure. It really boils down to 4 simple things. First, just ask gentle questions that get them thinking. Second, celebrate their effort and the clever ways they try to solve problems, not just whether they get it right. Third, and this is a hard one, resist the urge to jump in with the answer. Just give them some quiet time to think. And finally, if they love dinosaurs, count dinosaurs. Connect all this math to whatever they're passionate about. I absolutely love this quote because it just nails the difference. See, asking how many can feel like a test, but asking how can we find out how many? Well, that's an invitation. It invites them to be a problem solver. It's such a small change in how you phrase it, but it makes a huge difference. Okay, and I have to say this. If you're listening and feeling a little bit of that old math anxiety starting to bubble up, take a deep breath. It's totally okay. Your job isn't to know all the answers. Your job is to be curious with your child. Just wondering out loud, I wonder which of these sticks is longer, is way more powerful than having a degree in calculus. Your enthusiasm is what really matters. All right, let's start to wrap this up. The biggest takeaway here is that you don't need these huge scheduled lessons to build a love for math. It happens in the small, joyful moments of everyday life. Here's the thing you really need to remember. Math isn't something you have to force into your child's day. It's already woven into the fabric of their world. Your role is simply to be a kind of narrator, pointing it out and helping them build the words to talk about what they're already noticing. Just remember, it's all about those tiny, everyday moments. It's counting the steps as you walk up to the door. It's asking if they have more blue grapes or green grapes. It's finding circles and squares at the playground. These tiny little interactions, when you repeat them over time, they build such a powerful and positive foundation for all the learning that's still to come. So, I'll just leave you with this one question. Now that you know what to look for, the adventure is right there waiting for you. Where will you and the curious kid in your life discover math together first?